doesn't know who we are, we're the Game Chasers, Alphaomegasin, gaming historian, and that's Dodongo. He's just Dodongo. So,
he looks so happy.
So this is about collecting, I think we have 30 minutes. Can we extend that to like 60 if we need to? 50, 55? Okay, good. Sometimes we don't shut up.
Are you supervising this? Is that what your job is?
He's back there making sure.
You're back there to make sure I don't cause trouble.
I know. So we're going to keep this
Phil.
friendly. I think we're allotted one F word apiece. So Norm probably won't use it, so I'll take it.
Fudge.
So collecting, how many y'all collect? Everybody? Okay. It's such an addiction, isn't it? It's expensive, especially now. Jeez. Do what?
Is it a problem?
The price? A problem?
Yeah. Is it being addicted to collecting a problem? Addicted to collecting?
Yeah, I'm addicted to video games.
And tell them about your new addiction.
Okay, so that goes along with, I said, did y'all hear me say? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I didn't use mine yet. So, okay, first of all, you gotta figure out what kind of collector you are. You got guys like Dodongo who buys stuff that he wants, stuff that he had growing up. And then you got guys like, well, me and Billy, who want everything. And then you got like crazy nut collectors who want, like NES, you want label variants, you want the sealed quality variants, you want the 5-screw, 3-screw, and I'm not getting into that yet, but I kind of started to because stupid Mike Matei, y'all know who Mike Matei is, right? Video gamer. I've been talking with him a lot lately about Atari variants. And 2 different occasions now I've gone into a place and bought the same game. I bought Circus Atari, I bought 4 copies of it because there were label variants. And then, what was the other one recently?
The football. There's 5 of them.
No, that was 3 footballs. And then combat or air fucking something.
There's your one.
There's my one.
And you're done. I'm supposed to be the problem.
I know. So anyways, my point is label variants and just variants in general drive me freaking crazy. And it is me, and I wish I wasn't, but I am. I'm getting to that point, at least with Atari.
It's a little bit of a sickness. I think everyone who likes has a little bit of that sickness in them. Like me personally, I started off just saying, you know what? I want to get the stuff that I grew up with, the stuff that I remember playing, like the Mario Worlds, the UN Squadron, stuff like that. And eventually, it kind of morphed into, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. I freaking everything.
I started because he came over to my house one day with a box, an Atari full of Atari games, a box, and said he found it at a thrift store or something. And me being as petty as I am, I was like, what the hell? I want video games too. So that's how I started, and now it's gotten stupid. How did you get started?
I've actually been talking about this today. I started in '97 because I got sick of rebuying my games. Because that happened, like, I want to go play back through Final Fantasy VII. Oh, I sold that because I'm poor. So then I had to go rebuy it. And then after you rebuy the game like 100 times, you kind of realize you're an idiot. So I was like, nope, I'm going to keep them. And then now it's 2015, and I have a room that could technically cause a small avalanche in India of video games. It would both be absolutely horrifying and nerdy at the same time. So yeah, that's how I got started.
Norm.
Well, obviously you have the games from growing up. Well, I did anyway. I know some people sell them as they get older, but I kept most of mine. But I really started getting into buying more when I got a job at GameStop. I know GameStop. Sorry.
I like GameStop.
All right, that's your second. That was mine to you. So.
Well, I didn't say it.
It's a symbol. So while working at GameStop, obviously you get the employee discount, and then they have all these buy 2 get 1 free. So that's when I really started getting into, buying all these quirky, weird PS2 games, just stuff that would come in, and then I guess I went back far.
When did you work there?
I worked at GameStop from 2006 to 2009 while I was in college.
See, I got to. Does anybody here remember Funkoland?
Funkoland.
Okay, Funkoland was Funkoland, Planet X, Babbage's, software, etc., EV games, and then GameStop. So you had all those. I worked at Funkoland. That was my first job when I was 16. And just like with you, if you start collecting, you can't help it. You're around games all the time. Somebody brought in a top loader in the box. And even then, before people were like, oh my god, top loaders. And then, you know, people like Eric were like, what? But when somebody brings that in, and especially in the box, and it's like brand new, you're just like, I can't process this. So you just start buying it, and you're getting paid minimum wage, and then you're making no money. But you have games, but you're just poor. So ramen noodles forever.
Yeah, sometimes it's games or food, and well, games wins usually. I've eaten sleep many a night because of video games.
Dodongo.
Honestly, I came into collecting video games just to kind of steal what they didn't want. So, but no, it was really just a nostalgia factor. You know, I always had those games that we lost over time. You know, you wanted to get them back. Like I said, I'm not an avid collector. I really don't care about collecting everything. I just have my specifics that I love to play that, and you know, that's all I'm really looking for. So that's why I think, you know, take a step back. But to give this panel a little bit more direction, though, I've got a question. All right, because you know everyone's privy to Amazon and eBay, and we've all got to deal with those kind of price gouging situations like GameStop and all that. So, what would be your best suggestions as far as where to pick up video games and how to get the best price on that?
Okay, that's a good question actually. For us, if you guys don't know what we do, basically we go around the country looking for retro video games, kind of like American Pickers, but video games. A lot of thrift stores, garage sales, obviously flea markets. The key to that is be consistent, be persistent. So just because you go into, I don't know, Goodwill one time and there's nothing there, it doesn't mean there won't be next week, 2 days later, 3 days later, something like that. Yard sales, on the way here actually, we just can't help ourselves. We see a yard sale, we have to stop. And we went to one, saw a sign, it was on the other side of the street, we were getting ready to come up here. And I was like, should we? And Billy's like, no. And I was like, no, I'm gonna like flip the car around and we had to stop. But actually, I found some Game Boy stuff, so it was worth it.
It's something very, very important about garage sales, and some of you I'm sure already know this, but just because you don't see it out there doesn't mean that they don't have any video games. There's been plenty of times where you've said, you know, do you have any old video games? And they're like, well, yeah, you mean like the old NES, Super Nintendo? Yeah, do you have them? Yeah, they're sitting in the closet. They didn't even think to bring them out to sell because they didn't think anybody would be interested in them. So even if you don't see them, ask for them.
That's actually one of my #1 rules. Like you said, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Always ask. Always. The worst thing you can say is no.
I think a lot of it depends on the area you live into. For example, when I was in Connecticut, hanging out with some friends, I found most of the deals at yard sales. But when I'm in Kansas City, yard sales don't have any of them. It's always flea markets that have them. So.
See, around DFW, yard sales is very missed. A lot of times you miss a lot. But I mean, the thing is though, we don't look for just video games. We look for old toys, we look for old board games, stuff like that. But as far as video games go, yard sales are a lot of mix.
And a lot of times at a lot of times at flea markets, if you see somebody who has video games, a lot of these people will have video games beside with different stuff. You know, you'll see a lot of vendors just selling video games. Usually those people are going to be looking up stuff on eBay and asking eBay prices a lot of times. Not always, but sometimes. But if you see somebody who has a bunch of junk and they just have like a stack of games with it, usually what that means is either they're cleaning out their closet, or if they're there a lot of times what they do is they buy storage sheds, go to yard sales, and they bring that stuff to the flea market. So the important thing to do is establish a great relationship with them. Say, hey, if you ever need more games in, give me a call, give me your number. And be fair with them, they'll be cool with you. And so establishing a relationship, and we've done that plenty of times and had people call and say, hey, I got this, and we're going to see it. Text us a picture, show us what they have.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, the flea market vendor. So I don't know about here, but most flea markets, the table is just nothing know their stuff, they know their prices. Like he said, if you got softballs next to a lawnmower, next to boots, and then video games, then that's where the best deal is going to be. And usually these people just want to get rid of it, they want to get it out of their house, out of their closet, it's taking up space. Then just junk.
And 9 times out of 10, they really don't know what they have anyways. Right. They're just looking to get rid of it. It's just space.
Or a lot of times they don't even care. We've been to people who said, yeah, I could probably get more of this than anybody, just take it, whatever. They don't even care